Okay, so for our next video, we're going to branch off into a couple of fairly new topics that build off what we've already done with ratios. The first thing I want to talk to you about is how to use something called unit conversions to find new values. And then we're going to use units to solve some problems. And basically this relies on what we already know about equal ratios. So we're going to take 300 inches and convert it to feet. So, as we see up here, 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches, and that's going to kind of give us the method that we're going to use. So if we imagine that 1 foot here, 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. So we know that 1 to 12 is equal to 2 to 24, right? 2 feet is 24 inches. 3 feet is 36 inches, right? Just multiplying by 3 and by 3. And, we want to know, now we've got 300 inches. And we want to know how many feet that is. Well, in order to do that, we're going to use something called unit analysis, and we're going to end up canceling units. So we have 300 inches here. Excuse me. 300 inches. Okay, now those are the units that we're currently in. And at the end of this thing, we're going to want to turn this into some unknown number of feet. Okay? So in order to do that, we're going to multiply by our conversion factor here, right? And our conversion factor says that 1 foot is 12 inches. And we're going to multiply by something, basically it's a form of 1 because it's equal to, because the top and the bottom are going to be equal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet on top. So I'm going to put 1 foot and 12 inches. Okay? So what we have now, we notice that we've got an inches on top and on the bottom. Well, they're going to end up canceling each other out. Okay? And now all I have left is I have 300 times 1 foot divided by 12. So once I've got all the units that I want, and now I'm in feet, right? The only unit left is feet, then I'm done. And then I have basically 300 times 1 is 300. Divided by 12 gives me, 25 feet. Okay? Now you may have been able to figure that out just by dividing, but if you pay attention to your units, you're more likely to get it right. Okay? So, that's the idea behind unit conversions. I can also do a slightly more difficult problem. Okay, so in order to do that, let me just clear out what we have so far. And I guess I'm going to have to fill that in with black. Okay, so the next problem, now I want to take, I'm going to take 2 miles. I'm going to take 2 miles, okay? And I'm going to convert that into inches, right? So, again, I'm starting with miles. I have 2 miles. And I'm going to use conversion factors until I get all the way to inches. Well, I don't have a conversion up here that goes straight from mile to inches. But I do have feet to miles and feet to inches. So I'm going to use both conversion factors. So if I have miles on the top, I need to put it on the bottom now. So 1 mile on the bottom, and this is 5,280 feet. Okay, so I've done this correctly. My miles have canceled. Now I'm in feet. Okay, now if I want to be in inches, I am just going to multiply this. Let's see, I'm in feet right now because my miles have canceled. So I need inches on top, so I'm going to put feet on the bottom. So 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. Okay, so that's going to cancel out feet. And look, now I'm in inches. And this one, it turns out, is a straight multiplication. So I have 2 times 5,280 times 12. And in the interest of time, we're not actually going to calculate that. But that will convert 2 miles into inches. Okay? All right, so the next thing that we want to look at is how we can kind of use units to solve problems. Okay, let me clear this out again. And we'll fill it back in. Okay, so let's say that we have a tank, okay? And that water tank is being filled at a rate of 12 gallons per minute, okay? And we want to know how long until there are 500 cups. Okay, so the first thing I should say is that I have gallons here, right? And I have cups here. So I'm going to convert these 12 gallons per minute into a cups per minute. So let's see, I have 12 gallons. And I want to turn that into cups. So I want everybody to take a second to think about what I can do to turn my 12 gallons into a number of cups. Okay, so clearly, right, if I'm in gallons now, and I want to go into cups, I'll put gallons on the bottom. Okay? Gallons cancel, and I know that 16 cups is equivalent to 1 gallon. So this ends up being 192 cups. So what that means here is that my 12 gallons per minute is the same as 192 cups per minute. Okay? And I'm still not done because I want to know how long there are until I have 500 cups. Well, that I can also use some unit analysis. So I have 500 cups, and I want, my answer, if it's a question of how long, I want my answer to end up in minutes. Okay? Well, I've got a ratio, and I'll highlight it in blue here, that actually does this for me, right? It compares the number of cups for every minute. Okay? It tells me about the relationship between cups and minutes. So I'm going to use that conversion factor here, right? Now, if I'm in cups, but I want to be in minutes, I want to put my cups on the bottom. So 192 cups to 1 minute. Right, my cups have now canceled, and I think I'm in minutes like I want to be. Okay? So let's see. So I have 500 times 1 is 500 divided by 192. Let's do some quick division. 192 into 500. It'll go twice. 2 times 192 is 384. Give me 116. It'll bring down a 0, right? And let's see. 192. Let's try times 5. 5 times 192. No, I'm going to have to do times 6. So 6 times 192 gives me 1152. Oh, that's a 1 there. That's going to bring me to 8. Okay, so, I could keep going, but it's about 2.6 minutes. Okay, so maybe that number of 2.6, oops, sorry about that, guys. 2.6 minutes doesn't make as much sense. Okay, well, let's clear this out, and we're going to turn this into seconds, which shouldn't be too difficult to process. Oop. Select and highlight. And I'll fill this in black. So I have 2.6 minutes. And I would convert that into seconds. Well, I know that the conversion factor here is that there's 60 seconds per 1 minute, right? I get my minutes to cancel, and this is a straight multiplication. 2.6 times 60, let's see, what's that going to give me? It's about 156 seconds. Okay, so to answer the original question, that's about how long it's going to take until there's 500 gallons in the tank. Right, and this is going to be useful when we're dealing with multiple units, but we're given in, when we're dealing in one unit, but we want to solve a problem in another. Okay, and as long as we understand that we can multiply by a conversion factor like this process is pretty basic. So use what you've seen here, and hopefully you'll be able to complete the homework problems and be prepared for class tomorrow. Thank you.